What's up, Bolcuts? I'm going to do some sponsor stuff right before we get into the interview episode. I'm just going to tell you right off the rip, CardSphere, get your cards here. Cardsphere.com, sponsor of the program. Make sure that you use the referral link to sign up and get your cards on Cardsphere.com. Don't forget, when you get those cards, you're going to want to have a beautiful box to put them in, a wonderful deck box made by none other than Bonebox Games. Boneboxgames.com. Use promo code Bolcast for a little discount on some of the finest deck boxes you can get. All right, it's time for an interview. Bye. What's up, Bolcuts? You're listening to Am I the Bolcast, the only podcast about Magic the Gathering that you're listening to right now. It's me, Mike Rosa. I'm your host. It's still me. I'm still kicking. You know what I mean? It might be the last episode, but we'll see you next week. We've got a very fun guest today, and I'm really excited about him. We've already got 2 members of this guy's band on the show, and I'm pretty pumped to be speaking to him about all the music I've listened to over the years, because I think this guy might be the brains behind the operation with the songwriting. Drew Slavik from See You Next Tuesday joins us today. Hey, Drew, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me, Mike.
I'm so stoked, dude. I tell you what, Chris and Greg might have told you that I gushed like crazy about it, but sorry, Ken, by the way. Really big fan. Really love.
Thank you.
Really love See You Next Tuesday. Got a lot of respect for like this large, like super experimental, like industrial sounding, like cyber elements to the new stuff, remix album and everything. Very interested in seeing where this all goes. Really big fan of Parasite. I've credited you guys with opening me up to grindcore considerably. Just completely changed how I listen to music, you know? So
awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you. It's truly it's been a journey to also be like I don't think I told this to Chris and Greg, but you guys are like the band. Oh, sorry?
Chris and Rick.
Oh, sorry. I've been calling him Greg right now.
Oh, you're good.
So that's my bad. Hey, Rick, I'm so sorry. That's my bad completely. Dude, to talk to 3 different Gregs today, and they've all just been in my head.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, Ken, and I'm sorry, Rick.
The funny thing about it is, you remember the band Robinson from back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
The guitar player from that band, well, one of the 2 guitar players was named Greg, and Rick and Greg actually are like the exact same human being. They look the same height. They both became tattoo artists. They both smoke Marlboro Reds.
So interchangeable like that. I guess let's talk about that, Rick and Greg. Hell yeah! Thanks for the bailout on that one, man. I'm sorry, anytime. Rick.
All good.
I was trying to say that you guys are like, you know how you got bands that you check up on every now and then, where they haven't had something released in a little bit, and you just like give them a Google, and then you're just hoping for something new. And that was you guys for me for a little while. I was just like always checking up on you guys. And then, man, Distractions was such a huge surprise. Very fun to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a feeling something was coming up when you guys like re-released the old stuff. It was like the first EP. This Was a Tragedy. I think it was re-released on some sort of compilation.
Actually, I'll be totally honest. The release of Distractions had nothing to do with that release. I wasn't even really doing much with the band, and Wax Vessel had reached out to us back either right before or right after COVID, and just wanted to press on vinyl all the earlier stuff. That This Was a Tragedy.
Sweet.
The Summer Sampler EP, and yeah, just some other random tracks that we had from back in the day, demo stuff that never got released. So that was actually not any bit of a proponent to Distractions coming out.
It wasn't? Okay.
No, it wasn't until a couple years later. I mean, I'll be totally honest, Distractions was me getting sober for the second time in my life.
Holy hell. Okay.
Yeah, Distractions was my distraction.
Aptly titled.
Leading up. Yeah. Aptly titled indeed. Yeah, I mean, to be not to go too much down that whole path, but I started. I had a bad run in when I was in high school. I got really into drugs and alcohol. Dropped out of high school.
Hmm.
Um, and then later on, I found sobriety and started See You Next Tuesday right around, I was about 24 ish. And then I was sober the whole time that See You Next Tuesday was around. And then when we disbanded in 2010, sometime around my early 30s, I was like, I'm an adult. I'm going to take my first drink in a bar. And turns out I shouldn't be a drinker. So I went like 7 years all the way into COVID, basically. And then COVID was just like a fucking nosedive
Yep.
into
Yep.
alcoholism. But yeah, October 19th of 2020, I took my last drink,
Oh yeah.
and I bought myself a guitar to celebrate. And within a
Distractions.
couple months, I had it in drop A and started writing grindcore again. And that's just kind of how it panned out, man. It was just like anytime I was like thinking about going out to the bar or going to the store next door to drink, and instead I just went in my studio and plugged in a guitar and started riffing.
Oh yeah, dude. I told Fox this. I was like, I think Distractions might be my favorite See You Next Tuesday record.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Um, and it's just so it feels like, man, okay, so this is the parasocial element of being a fan of a band is like you it just it felt like there was so much, like there is such a growth between Distractions and the previous work. There's so much depth to it that yeah, it took me a couple listens to really like find the groove because I'm a big Parasite guy, and I was like, man, if they
Oh
came
yeah.
back and went hard like Parasite, but instead it's still heavy, it's still hard, but there's a lot of like not modulation, but like the effects on the guitars are a lot more less straightforward. You're doing a lot more lead stuff on this one. The lyrically, it's like, this is what God looks like to me, being like you know um it's honestly, it felt like a really strange album to give a first listen to while walking in a grocery store, and then I gave it a
Yeah,
proper
I can see that.
yeah, it was just kind of like,
It's a roller coaster ride for sure.
yeah, every aisle felt very different. So I'm like, took it on a walk when I was walking the dog the other day, like, and it just still like hit in such a strange place. It does feel like, I mean, this definitely came from a place of like dealing with yourself and figuring that out. It feels like that, and I'm
Yeah,
really stoked with how it came out. I like it had I
thank you.
had to give it another listen last week. It was so good.
Yeah, actually that was my first try at my own production. Like I recorded all that stuff
Oh,
at my
nice.
house. All the drums on that were actually programmed. I programmed all the drums on that record.
Oh yeah.
So I literally did the bass, guitars, the effects, the samples, like all the voices and stuff you hear throughout the record are like some of my coworkers. Our old bass player, Travis, and his wife was on a song. Our old drummer Andy did some gang vocals at the end of a song.
Oh yeah.
So it was up. I'm not gonna lie, it took me like 18 months to write that record.
It's awesome though. It's so good. I
Thank you.
would love it, listeners. If you haven't given See You Next Tuesday a shot, give Distractions a good listen. Just really let
Thank you.
yourself get taken for a ride. Distractions is it's my favorite of the releases, but I will say Parasite is the most important to me. I think I could be
Yeah.
fair to say that much. Brothers is like a whole other beast. I got to know about all of this. So
Yeah.
Fox told me that you and Chop had been talking about, like, let's figure something out, work some stuff out, and then he was like, I don't know, we got to find something to align on together to make this like our halves cohesive. And I guess it
Yeah.
just came up that Urza and Mishra for the Brothers War were a perfect fit.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chop and I had kind of just we've been kind of internet friends for a while. I've never
Yeah.
actually met him in person or anything like that. He lives out in Connecticut. He's been to some of our shows like way back when, but we never been like formally introduced by any means. And he didn't go by Chop back then either.
Fair.
So I probably saw him with his mask off, you know.
Right.
But yeah, him and I just been kind of internet friends, you know, like he's the dude. We have very similar musical tastes. So we like exchange band suggestions and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. And one night we were just texting, and I was like, the way that he writes stuff is like instead of using guitars, he has the harsh noise stuff.
Right.
So it's like bass, drums, and harsh noise. And I was like, just intrigued by that. And I
Yeah.
literally said to him, I was like, I wonder what a See You Next Tuesday would sound like if I approached it like Chop. Like kind of in a way, like almost asking for permission to like kind of rip it off. But then then he was just like, hey, do you want to just do something together? And I'm like, why not? Fuck it, let's do it. Sorry, Ken.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so like he programmed a bunch of drums, sent me like more tracks than we even ended up using. Like in 2 days, he sent me like 13 tracks worth of drums.
Jeez.
And then I just sat down and plugged my bass into a guitar amp and it was just like I'm gonna do these like lead style bass stuff and just see how much I can push myself. And I'll be honest, like I mentioned with distractions, that was like 18 months it took me to write that record. I wrote and recorded all the bass tracks for Brothers in literally the month of March of last year. In 1 month, like I was just spewing riffs. It was
That's so
wild.
fun.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I showed it to the band, you know, the rest of the dudes, and our drummer Jimmy was like, "Oh, I wish I could be involved." I was like, "Wait, you can." And
Exactly.
then that's where we kind of came up with the idea of like mixing both electronic drums and acoustic drums.
Yeah.
So like Jimmy came up to my house, we hooked up all the stuff that got his kit hooked up, and we literally went like part by part and was like, okay, this sounds good electronic. Let's layer you here. Let's do like one drum kit on the left and one drum kit on
Right.
the right. Like we did all sorts of weird like that record is definitely something you need to listen to with headphones on because there's so much
Absolutely.
spatial stuff going on. And then yeah, by the time like it came to Fox, like obviously you talk to Fox, he's the busiest
Right.
dude in the world between like
Yeah.
his art commissions, owning a tattoo shop, being a tattoo artist.
Right.
And
And all the cEDH he's playing. Well, not cEDH he's playing.
yeah, exactly. That and his like obsession with modular synth and stuff too. So
That we didn't get
um
into that. That's kind of fun to know.
oh yeah.
Fox, you holding out on
Um
me with the fun other stuff. That's fun.
yeah. He's
Look at the
probably
synths.
embarrassed. He spent like a literal fortune on modular synth.
That's great.
um, but not that he didn't on Magic cards, by the way,
No,
because
sure.
Magic is very expensive.
Oh, the closet right now. We just moved back in. My whole collection's in my closet right now, and I am
Oh man.
just devastated with how massive it is. I completely forgot
Oh
so
geez.
much.
But yeah, when it came down to doing vocals, it was just like uh, Fox was super busy.
Hmm.
Chop was moving into a new place. So Fox just kind of had the idea where it was like, what if we did like a side, B side? So like Fox did vocals on the first 5 tracks, and Chop did vocals on the second 5. And then
Hmm.
I kind of just extrapolated on that, and I was like, well, what if like we had like a shared topic and like each side kind of like had their perspective.
Yeah.
And that's when Fox was like, he had just bought Brothers War and was kind of thinking that after he read that series of books that he would use that for something to write lyrics with. And it just so happened I pitched that to Chop, and Chop was like, oh yeah, I play Magic, I've actually read all those books. So I was like, okay, cool. So we are just a bunch of nerds. Let's do it. And I mean, honestly, it worked out perfect because like having so Fox wrote as Urza,
Right.
and Chop wrote as Mishra. So each side of like side A and side B, the first 5 songs are literally the whole story of Brothers War in the perspective of just Urza.
Right.
And then same goes, respectively with Mishra on side B. And it's really interesting. Like if you really, I don't know if you read the book.
I did when I was a kid. I don't remember.
I did. Okay, yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I've
I
got
read
that
it.
cursory knowledge of it, but also because of like they just revisited
Yeah,
the Brothers War a couple of years ago, right? So like there was a refresher
right.
somewhat. But yeah, I vaguely.
Yeah, I want to say I was in high school when I read it. So it's like I get the gist of the story, but
Right.
reliving it, reading the lyrics and stuff, just reliving it, it's like it's kind of crazy how different the two brothers are throughout the story as well. So it actually ended up
Oh
being
yeah.
like the perfect subject matter.
It's so good, and also just like, I mean, it has to be something like if you're a See You Next Tuesday fan or a Chop fan who just like picked this up and didn't know it's about magic, you're just like,
Yeah.
why are they talking about splitting a stone in two in the first song? Like, wait, that's it, man. See You Next Tuesday getting extra poetic on this one. Like, what? I
Yeah,
don't.
right.
I
Very much
really,
so.
this is definitely, and I will echo something that you said from before, which is to say that like you want your headphones on for this. Like you want
Oh
to
yeah.
really like get into it, give it a go. It's what is it, like 9 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? I don't even know.
It's not 10 minutes. It's 10 tracks and it comes in at like 9 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that.
It's such a like I'll put it on when I'm like I need to do something active, so I'm just gonna throw this on and it'll be like a good marker of being like I did a little something, I like worked out or did something I need to distract. It's been like a nice timer for me. I've been enjoying
Yeah.
it quite a bit. I know I've got a favorite on the album, but I feel like I want to discuss with you about what's a track on the album that's a real standout to you and what makes it so. And I don't mind going first if you need a second.
No, actually, I know right off the top of my head.
Hit it.
By War or
That's
Guile.
mine. That's mine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. There you
Yeah.
go. That's
Yeah.
my favorite. Musically, I think like the riffs that I wrote for that song. There's bass harmonics in it. Even just how it starts, like Jimmy,
Oh yeah.
just that, and
Yeah.
it just comes in so hard, and it's got like a cool intro, and yeah, it's just, and then that the middle part, the kind of slower part towards the
Mm-hmm.
end, it just reminds me so much of like if Typo Negative was trying to write like a hardcore riff. You know what I mean? Like it
Okay.
has such a Typo Negative vibe to it.
Hell yeah. I gotta say, like, this is where you're like, this is the turn. It captures the moment of the relationship between them so well too. It's
Yeah.
just it's Urza losing the last shred of like hope for his brother. And then that
Yep.
last, the old thoughts and regrets is just like, okay, now it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yep.
You've been gone to me, and
That's kind of
uh
how on the other side too with the glistening oil,
right.
where it's like after the acoustic track on side B,
Mhm.
when Mishra comes back, it's now in perspective of him being mechanical.
Right, bathed me in glistening oil. He's like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
flesh. The flesh is weak.
The
The
butcher, yeah.
hell yeah. Also, that card's pretty sick. Sorry, Ken. By the way, shout out. You mentioned the acoustic tracks, which was honestly quite like a surprise. I had no idea what was happening. That track hits, and I'm like, hold on a second. What's okay? This is what I'm here for. I'm here for the experimentation, the new sound. I mean, we got a glimpse of this on Distractions. We've got some like a sound collage. You're playing with a ton of textures with the guitar, and
Yeah,
yeah.
the funny thing is that those acoustic tracks are the only guitars on the record.
You got to be kidding me. What are you talking
No,
about?
all the
Oh,
heavy
it's all
stuff,
bass?
that's all bass guitars.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so silly. I had no idea. That's
Yeah, so it was one of those things when Chop and I were like when we had like the final mixes together and stuff. and like, I'm trying to make sure the levels are all right because I produced all that myself as well. I
Right.
recorded it all and mixed it and all that myself. And I was just like, man, I can't wait till after this comes out and like we get comments where it's like, guitars are too quiet.
Yeah, get him, get him.
Yeah, sorry.
There. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to it again just so I can clock it. Because there's
Yeah.
definitely a moment where I'm like, okay, the guitars are very, very low. They're tuned super low on this one, but that's definitely a guitar, right? It's gotta be. It's so
No, it's a
silly.
bass plugged into to a guitar amp. Yeah,
So
and it's a 5-string bass that I tuned down to drop G, so it's low.
Jesus. No wonder
Yeah,
you're using harmonics. It's the only way you get into the treble range.
yeah, exactly.
That's so stupid. Oh, sorry, Ken. Well, I mean, we've started talking about Magic, and I think we should keep on Magic. So
Yeah, let's
you
do it.
told me you're not a Commander player, but you dabbled with another format for a while.
And by for a while, I mean I got in at Ice Age when I was in 6th grade,
Hell yeah.
and I played at like my local shop, Stadium Games for anybody from Bay City, Michigan. And that was the only time that I did like any version of EDH was when I
Okay.
first started because that's like most of what was, for casual play, it was mostly EDH. And then I got out. Well, I mentioned earlier that I got really into drugs and alcohol. So
Right.
from like 13 to 18, I fell off. Then See Next Tuesday happened during my 20s. And then before even See Next Tuesday took our like hiatus,
Mm-hmm.
I started getting back just after Time Spiral. And then
Oh.
I played all the way up until um 2014. So I know Zendikar was like one of the bigger ones that came out. M10 came out.
Okay.
What was the cycle that was after Zendikar?
Let me take a look. I think it's. I want to say it's.
Because I remember like the it was Zendikar was huge for
Right.
Legacy. So that's when I got into Legacy was when right around like 2010. But then yeah, when Zendikar came out, they had the other
Ah.
colors of fetch lands that came out.
Zendikar was 2009. Original
Yeah,
Zendikar.
2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I started Legacy playing was when Zendikar came out.
Nice. Nice.
And then yeah, I started going, and Star City Games was big then, so I
Yeah.
used to go to like the big Star City Games tournaments. I top 16 to handful, never made it to top 8. But yeah,
What was your deck back then? What were you running with?
um the bulk of the time that I played up until it got banned, I was really big into the Survival Vengevine deck.
Oh, that's the Vengevine being the one that comes into play free, right? That's like the
Yeah, it's the
you,
4/4/3 with haste.
right.
And if you discard X amount of cards that turn, it comes into play.
Whenever you cast a
So
spell, if it's the second creature spell you cast, you may return Vengevine. So you go fetch
yeah.
a survival of
Yeah,
the
so
fittest.
you
Yeah.
like turn 1, you do a Noble Herrick because you got to be able to get around a daze on turn 2. So then you played survival of fittest on turn 2, and
Right.
if no one dazed you and made you tap your Noble, then you paid a green and you pitched what was it, the Nimbling Mongoose,
Nimble
where it
Mongoose.
had a
Yeah.
madness cost of 0. So if you discarded it from your hand, it came into play for free. So you played survival and that in one turn. And
Oh,
then you had like
was that
intuition.
the? I think that was a. Wasn't that a lizard though? Not a mongoose. I'm
It
trying
was
to
a
think.
basilisk.
Basilisk. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, so
Madness
like,
Zero.
turn 3, you just pitch a couple of those guys. You throw some Vengevines, or you cast intuition, dump 3 Vengevines in your graveyard,
That's right.
you know,
Oh, I found it. It's the
and then yeah,
Basking
you,
Root
you get a
Walla.
couple free Nimble Mongoose. You get a handful of 4/3 flyers, and if you're really cool, you put Wonder in your graveyard, which he's like a 3/4 blue flyer that you never actually cast. He only needs to be in your
Yep.
graveyard. But if you control an island, all of your creatures get flying. So
And
like
that's
literally,
game.
if you set it up right with with Noble Herrick and fetch lands, turn 3, you could easily pitch a couple of Vengevines and a Wonder in your deck in your graveyard and attack for like 16 in the air.
Jesus. That's
And then
fast, dude.
Survival of the Fittest obviously was like the engine behind it. The
Right.
one green, one colorless, pay a green, discard a creature card, search through your deck for a creature card. So that's how
Yeah.
you like got the engine rolling. And then it had just, your brainstorms, ponders, days, obviously, force of will, the standard blue package
Oh, so
of
this was a
protection.
Simic deck. I didn't realize this was a Simic deck so far. I
Yeah,
thought,
it was blue green deck.
oh, that's right, because Wonder's in the deck. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, actually, Wonder never ended up getting cast, but you needed an island
of
in
course.
play.
Yeah.
And then some people splat because you played Noble Herrick because that was the best Birds of
Yeah, it
Paradise
was.
at the time.
Yeah, because it gives the exalted on the creature that's attacking like for 4 in the air. Not anymore. It's for 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
plus
Yeah,
it's a mana
yeah,
dork to power out everything else. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
yeah. It's just a great card. So some people put Swords to Plowshares
Oh, they
as
splash
like
on the S.
a white splash because you can
Yeah.
easily fetch up like what's the blue white Tundra. You could easily
Oh, sure.
fetch up a Tundra or
Yeah. Yeah, the mana base in Legacy is just like crisp. It's always the
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
I
And some
was
decks you spend like your first 5 damage points just fetching duels.
oh, I mean that's it. Like that's most of my commander games too. If I got enough colors, it's
Yeah,
no
right.
choice. I I was
um,
looking up some Legacy stuff earlier today, and learning and relearning a couple of things, and I'm just realizing like my favorite thing was banned a year ago. Like I didn't realize it because I don't really keep up with
oh, what
Legacy.
card?
But that's the thing is, Psychic Frog is a recent card. It's a card from
Oh,
2024. It's blue black for a frog. It's a 1/2 that when it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, you draw a card. But then it also says discard a card for free. Put a +1/+1 counter on Psychic Frog, and then you can exile 3 cards from your graveyard, and it gains flying. So it's kind of like, okay, great, here it comes.
utility.
Yeah, yeah. And also it's like obviously it's a great shell for Reanimator because you pitch something huge, you get it back and you animate
Oh yeah,
dead, whatever you need. Like it's yeah, Psychic Frog is such a cool little guy. And it's yeah, I found a good place for him in one of my commander decks and I'm excited to finally get him
nice,
out. But I don't play any tutors, so I gotta get him the
nice.
natural way. Yeah. Pretty fun. Um
Um, so yeah, then after Survival got banned, Vengevine basically became worthless, and at that time, Delver of Secrets
okay.
came out. So I was playing up until I quit playing. I was bouncing between all green elves because there's that one creature. Man, I can't think of what it is.
Hit me with
There
the
was like
text box what you remember. I'll see what I got.
yeah. Man, I'll have to dig deep. Man, I can't remember what he was, but he gets like it's like he gets a +1/+1 counter for every like creature in play. So you just have like a load of these elves, and you play this guy, and he comes and he has trample, and you get like these 15/15 trampler. I cannot remember the name of him, but anyway, so I
N-
bounced between elves
yeah.
and red, blue, green Delver, which was
Oh,
just Delver
Teamer Delver.
Secrets, Tom Ragoy, and then the blue package days. Mental Misstep was still legal at the time. That
Right.
card is absolutely bonkers in a format that literally plays 1 and 2 drops exclusively.
Right.
Um,
Probably Force of
but
Wills in
yeah,
the deck.
that was what was that?
Probably a couple Force of Wills in that deck too, if I'd
Oh yeah,
imagine.
4 forces, 4 brainstorms, 4 ponders, 4 mental missteps, 4 lightning bolts, 4 Tarmogoyfs, 4 Delver Secrets, 4 ponders, and then what's that free? What's like a blue? Blue Phyrexian. You look at your opponent's.
Oh, Gitaxian Probe. Get Probe. Yeah.
Yeah, I had Gitaxian Probe because I mean you want to turn one Delver, and then no matter what, you need to have your Delver flip on turn
Right.
2, and you just start pegging it for 3.
I mean, Get
And
Probe
then if
is
somehow you can't protect that, then you just drop a Tarmogoyf, and it's like a 7/8 for 2 mana because you have so much in your graveyard. Sorry, Ken.
Uh-huh. The Get Probe is like, it's so good. It's banned in Legacy, of course, but it's also banned in Modern and in Pauper.
Yeah.
It's restricted in Vintage.
I can't imagine why.
I don't know. I need to find a way to find the ban list and the restricted list in Vintage, because I wonder how many commons are on that list. Get Probe is a common restricted in Vintage. That's how sick this card is.
The Misstep's restricted too, and I believe that's an uncommon.
Yeah, it is.
Which is just nuts. That card, man, like broke Legacy for a while. Like it reshaped decks. Well, because like it was Wizards' answer for Legacy for Countertop, which I don't know if you're familiar with the Countertop combo, the
Counterbalance and Sensei's Divining Top
and Counterbalance.
Yeah.
The most worthless thing to play against. Like if anybody out there has played against Countertop and Legacy, like to just be able to sit there and not cast anything and get beat down by a Mistress Factory for literally 10 turns. Like, and then eventually people ended up moving away from that, and they ended up just having Jace, and they would just draw you out with Jace's ultimate.
They would fate hold you basically. They'd
exactly.
Yeah.
Like pick what's going to be on
they'd
top.
Scry
you
for the opponent.
One, they counter it.
Yeah.
It was stupid. So then you get Middle Misstep, and their countertop were just worthless.
Right. Exactly. And finally,
no matter how many times you toss it on the stack, you can have 2 or 3 in your hand and just keep paying 2 life.
Yeah. Do it to them. You gotta, because otherwise you're there for a long, long time. The countertop strategy of like a stranglehold on an opponent, like Lantern of Insight did that in like Modern to great effect, but also like, man, I can't imagine playing against that deck, but it must be exhilarating playing that deck because you're being such an asshole, but you're right because you're doing it well. If you're being such an asshole, you are winning. Is like is what's interesting to that. But Temur Delver,
it's
honestly,
funny too, because I don't remember if you remember Standstill. That had a moment that was in that deck too, where it's just like, okay, no one wants to play anything. You have a Mistress Factory, and you just get hit by 2, or they get to draw 3 cards, which in Legacy, 3 cards is
it's everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fuel for Force of Will. It's fuel for everything. It's like, no, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Silly card.
I'm glad it's not in the format anymore. I think they made a good decision if that's what's happening, and now people can go back to playing countertop.
Yeah. Stupid. Well, then there's that. What's that? Zendikar Manland, the 4/4 blue-white flyer too.
Oh, Celestial Colonnade.
Yeah, that one ended up being a very popular one once that dropped too.
I think that like there is such a massive. I think there's a Legacy Lands deck that right now is pretty sweet, and
Maze of Ith, Tabernacle, Celestial Colonnade. Maze of Ith was a big one. What's the? Man, I can't remember. Yeah, I remember playing somebody at my local shop every once in a while. I mean, even back then, because Tabernacle was like a $300 card back in 2010,
and now it's $3,000 at least.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
And every once in a while, there'd be a dude that showed up with lands, and it'd just be a fucking nightmare because you didn't sideboard for it because it was too expensive to play.
Right.
So it's very rare that you played up against that type of deck. The meta back then was a lot of the Sneak and Show, which was like the Sneak Attack, Show and Tell,
right?
And that threw in the big 15/15 Emrakul, yeah. And then there was the 7/7 Demon that had the pay 7 live, draw 7 cards.
Gristlebrand's also banned in Commander. Banned in Commander because you can just keep paying 7 life over and over again, and it'll be fine.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, especially in Commander, because there's so many infinite life combos where you just draw all but one card. And
dude, yeah, I mean, if you're talking to Rick and Fox, for sure, there's no shortage of ways to draw your entire deck in one go with the way they're playing.
Yawgmoth's Will was another one that was restricted in Vintage too, man. I couldn't even imagine like having that amount of money to be able to play. You ever watched like on YouTube like Vintage tournaments?
I'll watch Bosch and Roll on MTGO mostly. I think that's
it's so wild to see people cast like turn 1 Mox Diamond, Mox Emerald, Time Walk.
Yeah. I get excited if I see it on a digital
Ritual,
cube.
Yawgmoth's Will,
exactly.
Draw 7 cards.
It's just the most powerful way to play Magic, and while I understand that that's like a thing to chase, when it comes to me, I'm just like, I'll watch the hell out of this, but I could never. I would be the way I punt. I'm not a great player. I have a good time. That's what matters. I can put something together. I'm not good at. I got so hard by a Flare of Fortitude. Shout out to Empress Quinn the other night. It was ridiculous. But the thing is, I'm not very good at playing. So if I had this deck that ostensibly costs more than where I live, and I played it poorly, I would be so fucking mad at myself. Sorry, Ken.
Here's the thing. I remember saying to people all the time back when I was like at tournaments and stuff like that, I always felt like it was a split 3 ways. Like a third was talent, like how well you knew the meta, how well you could read your opponent, how well you could play the game. A third was how much fucking money you had.
Yeah.
You know, because if you couldn't afford Bitter Blossoms and Thoughtseize, what's the point of playing fairies?
Right.
You know, and then a third of it is just damn luck. Because like you could draw 7 cards and they can all be lands. And you can mulligan to 6 cards and they can all be lands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've been in type 2 like drafts, because drafts you gotta like 60-40 it with lands, you know?
Yeah.
And like there's been so many times you mulligan down to like 4 cards to be able to have something cool and 3 lands.
Exactly. Well, that's totally fair. I love a draft. I would say luck is an underrepresented thing in our conversations about this game. As much as we like to think that the brewing and the deck building is what gets us there, and I spotted the play and I know I read this correctly and I did that right. Nah, dude, you shuffled a deck of cards and and you know what? Somebody said, "Is this your card?" and you got to say yes. Because not everybody gets to say yes off that top card. I'll tell you what. Everybody's excited about it. No matter how many
brainstorms you set up the turn before, like I don't know how many times you end a turn brainstorm and you rip 3 cards and they are not what you want. Fetch a land, redraw, put a land, shuffle, cut, cast another brainstorm, rip 3 more cards, and they are not what you want. And you're like, shit, my next 3 turns are going to suck.
Yeah, and you could see it. You get to be like, I don't think this is worth going through at this point.
That's why Ponder being a sorcery in blue decks was even viable, because you could look at your top 3 and say, nope, shuffle.
Yeah, no, exactly. But then also after you shuffle, you still pull like another land when you don't need one.
Yep,
that
exactly.
also happens.
You draw yet another land, or you know, a non-blue card to go along with the Force of Will that's left in your hand.
Right, exactly. I do like that. Like it's so. First of all, it is great because to me, I'm like Ponder's great rate because even if you do end up drawing something you don't want, it's still card draw to replace itself. It's basically cycling with a little bit of choice, a little bit of pizzazz. But 1 mana in Legacy versus 1 mana in Commander is a lot of difference. They're like 1 mana in Legacy. First of all, you talked about Temur Delver. Delver of Secrets is a 1 mana 1/1, and that might not sound like much, but then it flips. If you reveal an instant or sorcery on top of your library at your upkeep, you get to flip it into like what, a 3/2 flyer.
3/2 flyer. Yep.
A 3/2 flyer for 1 mana just because you happen to play a ton of instants and sorceries and you got
Yep.
lucky. Talk about a deck that's also like luck. Yes, luck. However, I will not besmirch the luck. I look, Brainstorm does a lot for that deck too. Because if you're reorganizing the top of that deck, you're definitely saying, okay, now I'm hitting you for 3 next turn. But you still gotta.
Fetch lands and Brainstorm is like bread and butter.
Oh yeah, so you could do it again and again. Get them.
Well, so if you rip 3 with your Brainstorm, you put 2 shitty cards in your hand. You put 2 lands back, and then you fetch a land, and you get to shuffle those 2 lands away.
Yeah,
I mean, Brainstorm is just like it's the card, man.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like the poster child for that format. So it's like one of those cards that's never gonna catch a ban. And yet, if we talk about Brainstorm nowadays, like in Standard with no fetch lands of any kind, or nobody's playing like the tap fetches like Evolving Wilds or anything in like this format, we do have a card that allows you to cast Brainstorm from exile as like a 1-drop 1/1. It's Harmonized Trio. It's for 1 blue mana. You got a Merfolk Bard Wizard 1/1 with tap 2 untapped creatures you control, and this becomes prepared, and its prepared spell is Brainstorm. And so I don't know if anybody's worked up some shenanigans with that, but it's kind of like they really did try to give you a Brainstorm experience while also making you jump through the most hoops. Like, you really got to want that Brainstorm, and then also, is it really all that good here? Like, we don't know.
Yeah. I remember when Jace the Mind Sculptor came out, and you're like, wait a second, you telling me that I get to Brainstorm every turn for free?
Yeah.
And it can kill my opponent?
It's very funny to think about how, like, I have to assume, like, the majority of my listenership right now, like, was not around for Jace the Mind Sculptor. In fact, I was late to the party coming back to Magic, so I got to a point where Jace was everything in the formats surrounding the other 60 card formats that I was kind of peripherally.
Okay, yeah. I remember playing Jace in Standard even, and it was a fucking bombshell.
Oh, it makes a ton of sense. I wasn't paying attention to Standard at that time because I think it was, what was it? It was also World Wake. Yeah. So I wasn't
World Wake. Yep.
Right. So I wasn't like playing Magic again then. I had taken a break from then, and I also wasn't like tapped into the formats until I came back to things, and then I got more invested in everything. But the way people talk about Jace the Mind Sculptor now compared to back then, Jace the Mind Sculptor is the Magic story villain for a reason. And I think that they got here by being like, remember when people saw Jace the Mind Sculptor like back in the day and they were like, this is too powerful? Like, let's give him that Jace in the story now. And that's kind of really choice, honestly. It's also like, absolutely, you get to Brainstorm every turn. You also get to like Fate Seal an opponent, which is such a like. There's a reason we don't get that ability. We don't get that ability at all. You don't get to be in control of your opponent's next draw.
And to also, like, at the same time Jace was out in Standard, we also had Stoneforged Mystic, and in Legacy you went and got Jite.
Oh my god, yeah, we haven't even talked about Jite.
Yeah, like, and like Sword of Fire and Ice, like all in the same deck. You would have Jace the Mind Sculptor, Stoneforged Mystic, and then what was that?
There was another one, right? That's what they called this one. Cawblade.
Cawblade, yeah. What was that? What was that other? It like added 4+4+4 and lifelink.
Oh,
there was it was some equipment that got really, really big, and that ended up getting banned too. But yeah, like you had Stoneforged Mystic and Jace in the same deck, and it was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, because you'd go get your
during that period.
Yeah,
it just felt like anytime Standard was like had good blue and white cards, the format was absolutely bonkers.
And that makes sense.
I remember like when the Titan run came out. You remember the Titan cycle?
The M10 Titan, Sun Titan, Grave Titan, Frost Titan.
Yeah, the green Titan, and
Primeval
then
Titan.
Like that. Yeah, Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
That and Modern, I remember for a minute where you go fetch up the lava lands where you can lightning bolt everybody.
With Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle. That's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Primeval
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Titan and Valcuts, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. I just found the equipment you were talking about. Batter Skull. Batter Skull.
Batter Skull.
It's a living weapon too, so you put it into play, and you've just with Stoneforge as an uncounterable way to get a 4/4 Vigilance lifelink into play, and there's this buyout that you can return it to your hand if you don't like if you got the extra 3 mana around, like which you probably
and
have.
You had Jason play, fate sealing your opponent.
Yeah.
Cast Stoneforge Mystic, go get Batter Skull. At the end of their turn, put Batter Skull into play as a 4/4 lifelink vigilance, and then you just protect your Jace. Yeah. And you fate seal them while beating them down simultaneously in standard.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That was stupid. It was stupid.
Their premier format.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Batter Skull ended up getting banned in standard during that 2-year format.
Did it really? Oh.
Yeah, because it was bonkers. But Stoneforge is still a staple in Legacy.
Well, that makes sense.
You can go get Sword of Fire and Ice. You can go get Umezawa Jite. Like it's dumb.
Yeah, I'm looking at Batter Skull.
Uncounterable equipment is just
ridiculous.
Like you put uncounterable on anything, and it's Legacy playable.
Well, I think I have news, but like Jite is not banned in Legacy. It's legal.
No, Jite is not. No,
it's legal now. I'm looking at the legality of it.
It never got banned. No, Batter Skull got. Batter Skull got banned in standard during that time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not legal in standard now, which makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because you're looking at like an 8, potentially 12-point life swing. Like this comes in for 4, you gain 4 life. That's an 8-point spread, but it has vigilance, so anything that comes at attacking, you just go ahead. I'm gonna gain 4.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'll put this on something else. Put it on my Stoneforge. Or I'll bounce it back to my hand and then throw it down at the end of your turn again.
Exactly.
For 1 and 1 white.
No, that's fair. That is ban worthy for sure. No, that's nasty.
Man,
I gotta play more Batter Skull.
Yeah, dude. Stoneforge Batter Skull. Is Stoneforge and Batter Skull legal in EDH?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a probably underwhelming underplayed. I don't hear anybody talk about it.
No, I don't think it's something that comes up anymore because equipment has gotten very dumb in Magic. Like we've got so much over the years. That's definitely like there's one called Cauldron Complete. I don't know if you remember the cycle from like OG Mirrodin, Fifth Dawn, and Jesus, why am I forgetting it? Darksteel, where they had the the helm, the shield, and the sword of Cauldron that all made Cauldron. Well, in Modern Horizons 2, Cauldron Complete is a 7-mana legendary artifact equipment with living weapon, indestructible. Equipped creature gets +5/+5, has first strike, trample, indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, exile that creature. So it doesn't bounce itself back to your hand, but it's definitely, and it's if
it connects, it can sway a game for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's ridiculous. Even if you're just like, I guess I'm gonna leave it back for blocks and see what you got. I've got a first strike that exiles whatever you throw at me. Cauldron Complete is one of those like equipments that you just have to laugh at. You see it, you're like, Jesus, what are we even doing here? And then
you need to get a Stoneforge to bring that guy into play.
You gotta get a Stoneforge. I'll tell you what. I'll put that thing right in my command zone in the right play groups if anybody will let me. I don't know if anybody will, but it is such a fun thing to see. Like, let me see if I can send you this. I'll send you the link to this so you can take a look at it. But the art on Cauldron Complete is what it says. Like the Phyrexian oil has corrupted the 3 pieces of Cauldron. because we don't really get a glimpse at the angel that mans it. It looks like the germ, the giant
Oh
germ
yeah.
has taken all 3 of the pieces and is just like running away with it. And I think that's a natural way to get back to saying I think everybody should check out Brothers. It
Hell yeah.
ends with Mishra, baby.
That's sick. That is a stupid equipment indeed.
It's gnarly.
Man, that's rad.
If you have you had any like recent desire, any like interest in playing Magic again? Has that come back to you in any way? Have you been like itching for a little bit?
Honestly, like Rick and Fox both have asked me to jump into like EDH, and it's
Yeah.
just like, man, here's the thing: it's just like the knowing your cards
Uh-huh.
to me is like such an important part of the game. This is like, especially in a format where you have 99 cards or 100 cards, and
Yeah.
they're all singles. You know what I mean? And it's like every time I think about it, 2 things stop me: money, because it's fucking expensive, and just the fact that like even in casual play, playing a format with a bunch of cards I'm unfamiliar with, it's so much patience to sit there and read everything. Whereas like when I was in Legacy, like when I went to a tournament, there wasn't a single deck that surprised me. You know what I mean?
There's
like
a set
the
meta that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to Legacy, it's a very set meta where it's like, you're gonna hit the random burn player. There's elves. There's some sort of blue-white, fucking stupid Jace Mishra factory type of deck. There's some sort of like sneak attack. Affinity was big for a minute. At least you knew like if you're playing against somebody and they put down, what were those artifact lands from?
Like the Ancient Den and Great Furnace.
Yeah, where they're just a standard land, but they're also an artifact.
Yeah.
Like if someone puts that down on turn 1, you're like, oh, cool, I'm playing fucking Affinity. Great.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is definitely a lot easier to know the matchup when you've only got 60 cards to know, and even then you get to have multiples of each one. It lets you set up plays where you're like, I'm goading out the force of will that I can tell because of my experience with this deck that you've held in your hand. We're all reading from the same, like we all know the deck guides of these decks. We're all familiar with this meta, and this is how we're playing it. It's like playing a fight in like a fighting game, like a video game. Like you're just like, I know how to play. I know I could play the shit out of some noob Cybot. Sorry, Ken, but if you like, and I know how to use that against Johnny Cage or Liu Kang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus Commander.
Like, so like I think if I were to jump back in, it would either be like a standard or modern format.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Legacy is just so much money now. It's stupid. Like the thought of even owning a play set of fucking volcanic islands is just like.
I mean, I'll say some like events are proxy friendly. Like you could definitely get some proxy, and Rick and Fox talked about knowing that they like can proxy some stuff up if they need. So if there's any interest in getting back on that horse a little bit, I think talk to your pals. And maybe maybe take out the part where I say who proxied.
They always want me to get into cEDH,
which is fair. That's what they're playing. That's but if you
it is what they're playing, and again, like it's daunting to me because it's like it's 100 cards and they're all one card. Like like even if they gave me a deck that's like, oh, it's really great, it's an easy winning deck, it does all this cool shit. Like if I had like some sort of tutor effect. Like it would take me 20 minutes to go through my deck to figure out what, like if you had any kind of like search for a creature card, it's like, okay, what creature do I need in this battlefield that's going on? I wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
Whereas like in a Vengevine deck, I knew that if I paid 1 green to Survival of the Fittest, I pitch a Vengevine for another Vengevine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I understand like why you wouldn't want to dive into Commander. It makes a ton of sense. There's so much to know, especially because with Rick and Fox, they're playing like bracket 4, which is to say the just below cEDH. And the real difference between them is that cEDH acknowledges a meta, a competitive meta, and bracket 4 doesn't. So they specifically play high-powered but just outside of a meta. They specifically play to do like the weird stuff. And
But what does the meta look like in the cEDH?
oh, dude, it's fascinating. So of
Okay.
course you lead with a legendary creature you like, and then you find a strategy that you can, tutor for, capitalize. Like you again, it's multiplayer, so you're focused on everybody else kind of racing for this. And frankly, when it comes to cEDH, it's not my realm either. It's like not something that I play a lot of, but I do pay attention to some creators like Comedian and the Play to Win guys, and so they talk about cEDH just like we talked about legacy decks. So like a cEDH deck will come up and say, so this is an Itali card, Itali being like a Gruul 7-drop that when it enters exiles cards from the top of everybody's libraries until you hit a non-land card, and you get to cast all of them for free. So like you get to do that, and then so it's like, okay, here's an Itali card. I'm gonna play Itali, and then what I'm gonna do with my Itali is make a copy of it, or flicker it, or kill it so it comes back, or make a ton of mana so it goes back to my command zone. I can keep doing that and all that stuff. And so when people see like a clone card in a new set that's very quick, or it's like, hey, I'm gonna make a copy of that Itali for like no mana at all, that gets their ears perked up, and you kind of see that develop with their decks and stuff. Whereas, you've also got like partner commanders, which complicates things so much. But it's definitely there is a meta that you can get to know. And again, I'm not here to convince you to get back in. I just asked a question. I'm not going to pressure you into it. But
for sure. Yeah, I mean,
sounds like you had a fun time back then. So
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I was definitely I played I drove. So I live up in Bay City, Michigan. Where are you from, by the way?
Montreal.
Montreal. Okay.
Yeah.
So I live like, the Mitten.
Yeah,
here's
the
Michigan,
Michigan,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, so Fox and Rick, they live right in the center here. That's
right.
Lansing, the capital. I'm over here on the Bay. I live in a little town called Bay City.
Hell yeah.
And then Detroit is down here, right where the ambassador comes over to your country. Right in that same area is a town called Ann Arbor. So I drove on Wednesdays. I drove 2 hours to play Legacy at a place called Get Your Game On.
Oh yeah.
And then Friday Night Magic, I played at this place called Coy's Magic in Saginaw, which had Legacy Night. And then Saturdays, I would literally just go to any place that had a draft. Some nights, I'm not even kidding you, because I was working at a Guitar Center at the time. I was a manager of a Guitar Center, so I had way too much money. And like I was playing either 3 to 4 nights a week. Because some Saturdays, like I'd take a Saturday off, like when a new set came out, and I'd play a draft in, the next town over at like 10 a.m. And then I'd shoot for a nighttime draft at like 5 p.m. in a different town. So I'd do 2 drafts, and sometimes like I'd walk away with 2 fucking boxes of a new set,
Tight. That's so fun.
Yeah. I had a good group of dudes too. I had this dude, I'm not even kidding you, his name is Bond Scafuri. First name was Bond, last name was Scafuri.
Okay.
It was Bond. It was my buddy, what was his name? Jeremy. And then I had two more dudes, and then a coworker that was named Chris. And it was like the 5 of us, and we were just like, we were the type of dudes that like when a set got announced, anytime they spoiled a card, we'd fucking like put it in like a nerd Excel sheet.
Hell yeah.
And like we would come to these shops with like, 12-year-old kids playing, and and some of those drafts, we played a couple where it'd be like 50, 60 people, so you get matched up against anybody. And again, drafts are all just luck of the draw. You sit down at a table of 8 and pass cards around, and you can get or you can get awesome cards. And I'm not even kidding you, I pulled a Jason draft once. I 100% walked away with a box of World Wake.
I would hope you did.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, Jace is brutal. One-on-one. It is not okay. It's so brutal. I wonder if they could.
I pulled a Batterskull in draft once.
A Batterskull in draft. Was this the Batterskull is also in World? No, what was that?
It's the living weapon
No, no, no. I
4/4
know.
vigilance lifelink.
No, I know it, but I can't remember what set it came out in because it's like, was that the same draft? No, it can't be because it's New Phyrexia. Yeah, that makes
Uh,
Living Weapon is
it
New
was
Phyrexia.
yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, I mean, like, first of all, talk about a card that just goes in at any deck that you end up drafting.
Yep.
It's colorless. It's your top end finisher. You're just like, oh, and if anything, it's also gonna equip itself to something else, and you
Yep.
can't get
And
rid
if
of
you
it. I've
kill
got 3
it,
mana.
I could bounce it and recast it, or I can
Exactly.
equip it to some other stupid thing. Because in draft, like you
You're
draft
so
green
limited.
and you pay like 11 for a 10/10 worm
Yeah.
trample.
Oh man, things have changed a lot because now you'll get a 10/10 for 5 mana. I don't know if I love draft and I love sealed. I play a couple pre-releases of every set just so like I can get a feel for it. And I think if I were to take a break from Magic, for sure my first toe back in the pool would not be Commander. It would absolutely be a draft or a sealed thing. Find a set that I'm excited about and jump back in.
Draft or like a modern type of thing, because I feel like modern is such a vast meta.
Modern,
like,
yeah, it's kind of become
at
like
least when I was still playing, modern was still like if you jumped into the meta, you could play you could play 16 round tournament and play a different deck
every time.
each game. Whereas like Legacy's meta was like you would play a Vengevine deck and a blue-white control, and then a sneak attack, and then a blue-white control, and then another Vengevine deck, and then like a blue-white control, and then then Delver came out, and it was literally like, what 3-color version of Delver am I playing?
What flavor of Delver are you in? Yeah.
Are you playing blue, black, red Delver? Are you playing blue, white, green Delver?
Mm-hmm.
That card just broke the fucking format for sure.
It's crazy that another common, right?
Yeah, another common.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? That thing was
Brainstorm is a common.
Brainstorm is a common, but is Brainstorm also restricted? It must be.
Brainstorm is restricted in vintage for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The only reason it's not banned in Legacy is because it's the poster child, for sure. They would
absolutely
have to ban it
like
otherwise.
If they banned Brainstorm, people would seriously consider not playing blue.
Yeah, and
like
how
it's what you play blue for is Brainstorm. Like you could have a 2-color aggressive deck and splash blue just to have a Brainstorm in there.
I think Modern has become a bit of a rotating format these days with Modern Horizons, but every time I hear about a new Modern deck, I'm just kind of like, this is interesting. This is new. It does feel fresh.
Yeah.
So
it felt like there was a lot of cool decks at the time. Like I said, I played the Valakut Titan deck for a bit. I played Fairies, the Bitter Blossom, Blue-Black Fairies for a while. That was really cool. Bitter Blossom and like the Thoughtseize Bitter Blossom, like those were just some of my favorite artwork as well.
Oh yeah. They just
printed
Bitter Blossom
Modern
on a creature.
had a lot of stuff. Like there was always something new. People were innovating. People were bringing new decks to the table that were actually smashing top tier decks. Whereas Legacy, if you brought something innovative, you would just lose. Like you had to play one of like 8 decks.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be really, really good to get testing. And even then, you'd want to morph it off of another strategy that's working just because it's too powerful. I don't understand. Shout out to anybody doing anything new in Legacy. Shout out to Brian Coble experimenting, even if a little, just like, no idea how this format works. But every time I see it, it's like, that was fast. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
And sometimes it's not fast. Sometimes it takes
grindy
forever.
Yeah, it can be very grindy.
Like it's a lot of draw card pass because your opponent. You have to wait until you have like a Force of Will, a Mental Misstep, a Daze, and a Spell Pierce all in your hand to play your Tarmogoyf.
Right, you need the counters, the counter suite. Would it hurt you to know that that Tarmogoyf is now just very, very much like not played as much at all?
in Legacy still.
I mean, I have to assume in Legacy or in anything, it's no longer. It used to be a modern like all-star. It used to be Jund.
Yeah, dude. Like you could be on turn 3 and it's a 2-mana cost 7/8,
which is
it's
awesome.
vanilla, but
Right, but it still gets the job done. But now Tarmogoyf is like a token in Commander. One of the Commander decks made a
yeah, I
deck
bet.
that
Yeah.
there's a land enchantment that allows you to tap your land to make a Tarmogoyf token. Like
Wow.
there's a commander that makes Tarmogoyfs. So like it's pretty sick, but also
See,
it's
that's
like,
why I don't
man,
play
brutal.
EDH. That's why I don't do that.
Which is totally understandable. And again, I'm not gonna force this on you. It is a good time though, and if you ever did want to get into it, you know your buds are so stoked and ready for it.
Oh, I know. They would jump up and click their heels together if I was like, "All right, let's do this."
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know, we toured with the band Sawchuck. You familiar with Sawchuck?
Sawchuck,
Hardcore band from Detroit.
I'll check them out, but no, I don't know.
Yeah, they're great. They're just a bunch of Magic nerds, and we went on tour with them for like 3-4 days, and they brought all their Magic decks. So every day, like in the green room, you'd walk back there, and it would be Rick and Fox and 2 or 3 of those dudes all playing EDH at a table. And they tried every day to get me to jump in. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be that guy that has to sit there and read every single spell cast in a turn. Like, it's just too much pressure. And like, for me, like to read and actually interpret what I'm reading, I need like to actually focus. And having like 4 other dudes like staring at me, watching me read really slowly.
It's not easy. Yeah.
It's not.
And you know what?
Like,
this could be the takeaway.
Like what I'm doing too. You don't just read it and be like, okay, this gets +4/+4 and some other magic ability that it does if you discard it. And like there's so much stuff that would just be like.
And I get it. I mean, again, this could be the takeaway for all those listening, and thanks for checking out a Legacy episode this week. But I'll tell you this: if you ever are coming back to Magic or introducing Magic to somebody, Commander's just not it. You do not.
No.
You don't get a dual deck situation. Yeah, get him. Yeah, get a draft.
I think draft is like hands down the best way because everybody gets these neutered decks. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I'd even argue for
just
sealed
lands. They're never overpowered. Yeah, sealed draft.
Yeah. It's so much better to just do like, hey, here are your 6 packs. Rip them open, make a deck from what you got. Just because then there's no like, hey, I have to pick a card out of this deck and pass the rest to it, and then kind of build something from that.
I wonder if Fox and Rick played draft ever.
I honestly love a draft. Love a draft, and I would say
let's see if they watch this episode. If they listen to this and get to the end of this episode, the next set that comes out, we'll go to a draft together.
Oh, really? Okay, sweet.
Yeah, there it is. So we gotta. This is a
good incentive. Yeah,
Rick and Fox actually watch this episode.
Okay, good. We'll look. I won't let them know. We'll make it organic.
Yeah, don't let them know. Yeah,
okay. No cheating.
We're at that hour mark. I'm guessing we're going to be wrapping it up soon.
Yeah,
so
we're going to be wrapping it up. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's tell everybody where they can find you, and also, hey, Fox and Rick, if you're listening, pick whatever the set is, and it's time to take the boy out. We're getting him back into a draft.
Yeah, we're going to do a draft. Maybe we'll come up to Montreal. That's one of my. Before we wrap it all up, I'll tell you, Montreal holds a special place in my heart. I married my wife there.
Oh, no way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When I first met my wife, it was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And are you familiar with, there's a Montreal tattoo artist by the name of Jan Black?
That rings a bell. Jan Black.
Look him up. Jan Black, YANN Black.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's one of those dudes where I had an outstanding appointment for over a year.
Oh, God.
And when I first met my wife, I got the email that was like, actually, I think it was almost 2 years. I was on a wait list for this dude.
No way.
I got the email. I want to say, Lauren, She was right there.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I want to say I was on the wait list for like 2 years, and her and I had been dating for like about a year at that point.
Okay.
And I get the email from him that's like, "Hey, I'm scheduling for this October. It's your turn on the wait list." And I messaged him back and was like, "Hey, do you care if I bring my wife and we each get something? Is that doable?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's make it happen." So
Awesome.
I got my back done and she got her neck done. And so we're up in Montreal and she goes first. She gets her neck tattooed by him. And he's just one of those dudes that draws on you. You give him a concept, he draws on you, tattoos on you.
Uh-huh.
So then I get my whole back done. It was 3 days of getting
Jeez.
tattooed by him. And so every day that I'm sitting there getting tattooed, she would just go explore the city.
It's a great
And one
city.
of those days she was just out and stumbled across this like a market, and they were selling like flowers and all this
Uh-huh.
and she just comes back and like I'm hunched over like day 2, like
Uh-huh.
just bleeding profusely, like
Yeah.
12 hours into being tattooed, and she's just like, "Beep, we're we should get married. This city is beautiful." And I'm like, "I'm maybe."
Yeah.
So she was just devastated, right? Just devastated that she thought I just said no, but I'm just being hammered away by this dude being tattooed. So
Uh-huh.
we go out to dinner that night and we're just like, yeah, it. Like, we don't want this big stupid wedding that we spend a bunch of money on. We don't want like our crazy family to be around. But like, this is just perfect. So we started like kind of planning this wedding, and then the wife of the tattoo artist is a photographer, and she gives us like the cheapest deal on
Hell
these
yeah.
photos. So we
Hell
get like
yeah.
not only married in a park in Montreal, but like we get these like professional photos and stuff.
Mm.
Dude, it was perfect. It was awesome.
It all lined up and worked well. That's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So if I'm ever back in Montreal, we'll link up and play some Magic, and my wife and I will renew our vows.
Hell yeah. Look, I'm down to show up anywhere. Look, if you guys come up here, I'll make sure we get some food. We see a good park. We'll catch some draft action maybe. I'll
Heck
take
yeah,
it.
man.
Um
I love
I'm
Montreal. It
Montreal's
is
a
a
great city.
wonderful city.
It's brutal in the winter. It really really sucks in the winter, but it's summertime
Yeah,
now and you can't tell me nothing about this city. It's the best.
yeah, dude,
It's the
for
best.
sure. You got to like plug your car engine in during the winter and
No, no, I don't. I have to do that. I got I don't think I've ever had to do that. No, I think our cars are just like used to it. You know what I mean? They're built different, like we are. We're just.
Oh, I remember touring out there because we were good friends with Despised Icons, dude. So we play at shows every once in a while up there.
Mhm.
I remember like walking around town. Oh wait, I was Quebec City. That's more north of you.
Yeah.
But I remember like walking around, you'd see cars underneath the carport,